A couple of weeks ago, I got a call. I was minding my own fucking business, and I got a call. And I called the number back, and it was Carlos Mecia. And he said he wanted to start going to clubs again. We would bump into each other, and he said that he apologized for anything that ever happened between us or anything that he had ever done. And I said, listen, I wasn't mad at you. Life is life, and life moves on. He said he was having a son, and he had been in therapy and whatnot. And I thanked him for the call, and I didn't know what to think. I thought about it for a few days, and I said to myself, I asked myself, how many people gave me a fucking second chance, So I thought about it, and I called him one day, and we spoke. I heard he had showed up at one of the rooms and did a spot with some guys, Willie and Jeff Garcia and a bunch of other guys, and he was very nice and very humble. And I spoke to him again, and I told him I appreciate the call. And we spoke, and I asked him if he'd want to talk about what he went through on the podcast and all this stuff. And I got to be honest with you, I did not want any anger or anything like that, so I kept the podcast light. I hope you enjoy it.
I want to be around to...
What's happening, you savages? This podcast is brought to you by Onnit. Go to Onnit for their fine selection of supplements, weights, steel bats. If you need it, they got it. Alpha Brain, money back guaranteed. Go to Onnit.com right now and press in.
Church.
Bam! Get 10% off, bitches. Number 2, when you laugh, the world laughs with you. You understand me? With CISO, you get unlimited access to CISO original series, next day late night, hilarious stand-up specials, and binge-worthy classics, including 42 seasons of Saturday Night Live. Go to CISO.com right now and get 1 month free with promo code Joey at checkout. Again, SEESO.com, promo code Joey. Number 3, you're smoking dope, you're jumping up and down, you're doing exercises, you want healthy snacks, right? Go to Nature Box. That's as healthy as can be. Whether you get the chocolate nom-noms or the salt and pepper lentil loops or the mini cocoa Belgian waffles, you know that you're getting the goods. Go to Nature Box right now and you get 50% off your first order when you use /Joey. You understand me? naturebox.com/Joey. I'm going to give you 50% off your first order. Kick that motherfucking mule, Lee. Let's set this room on fucking fire. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. I can feel it. Black people jumping up and down. Oh, shit. Fuck the riots in 94. This is the real deal right here. Boom. Here we go. Kick that mule, Lee. What am I, on fucking deaf thing here? Kick that motherfucking mule. Bust those speakers. I want to see it light on fire like Grandpa's fingers. It's the Church of What's Happening Now, cocksuckers. April 26th. Uncle Carlos Mecia, the Flying Jew.
The Flying
Uncle
Jew.
Joey Diaz, bringing it to you, cocksuckers. What? Hit it, Lee. Kick that mule. Hit it, Lee. Let me see you wiggle, cocksucker. How many bong hits you did tonight, Lee?
3 or 4, I think.
3 or 4. You did 2, cocksucker.
No, I didn't. I did at least 3.
2. You didn't do the
You
communist.
did 2 in front of me, that's all.
You didn't do the communist
I did at
weed.
least 3. You already forgot.
Oh, shit. Just when you thought it was safe. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Mangele. Oh, I don't know what mangele means, but fuck it.
It sounds like eat in
Italian.
In Italian.
Mangele. Carlos Mencia in the house tonight. My main man, Lee Syatt, recovering from a few fucking issues. But he's back. He took care of everything and shit. He got a blood test. Everything's good. He's not pregnant.
No, I'm not pregnant. You're okay? You're okay, brother? I'm doing
okay.
all right. Well, good for you.
Carlos Mencia in the house. Good to have you
Not
in the house,
contagious
my
anymore.
brother.
It's a pleasure to see you, brother.
I was telling you when you walked in.
It's been a minute.
I know you since 1994, August, when we did the Latin tour, me, you, and Jimmy Abeda. I had 6 minutes. You made the mistake of giving me your number, and I called you every week for 2 fucking years. I woke you up in every hotel city. Good to have you on the show finally, man. Likewise, good to see you. Likewise, good to hear from you. Good to...
And good to know you're doing well, man.
These motherfuckers forgot who the fuck the power of Mencia is. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying, Carlos. You were there in the beginning. You were there. I'll never forget that you even called Scott Day for me.
Of course.
And gave me a reference. It was you, Doug Stanhope, and some other animal called Scott Day. Like somebody I least expected called Scott Day. And it was great when he called me and they gave me a showcase in front of Mitzi. And till this day, that's what I hold most sacred, is that she passed me.
Isn't that a great moment, dude? Like, and I know now. I mean, nobody. I mean, we're talking a fucking air right now. You know what I mean? People don't get what that hierarchy is. Everybody thinks they're funny. The internet has made it so that there's these YouTubers, and I ain't hating on them. Good for them. They got their fans. They sell tickets. Good for them. But they didn't go through that we did. It's an indoctrination, an initiation, a place where we were like, hey man, you're one of the 3 clubs, and if you want to get into the Comedy Store, the Crazy Place, the Edgy Place, the Kennison Place, the Dice Place, you got to go through Mitzi. She's the gatekeeper. She's the one. She's got to see you, and she's got to like it. And man, it was for me anyway. I feel the same way, bro. I couldn't believe, and yet I was so naive and young, and I didn't know shit about comedy that it wasn't as big at the time. But, to hear it going, you're going to be a non-paid regular. I was like, what the fuck? What is that? What's a non-paid regular? I don't know what that is. And they're like, you're in, dude. You're in. But you don't get paid, but you're in. And this was back in the day. I don't know if you remember when they put 2 non-paid regulars and it said MP, and those 2 didn't get paid. And then everybody else behind it got paid.
Now, what
whatever
year
it is.
did you become a regular?
88.
Oh, yeah. In 88, I was still fucking Camp George West Correctional Facility,
right.
Doing my own laundry with rocks and shit.
You were doing time.
And then when I got out, somebody gave me the
What
dice
year did
tape.
Mitzi do that to you?
97, February.
Okay.
This was my 20th year anniversary.
So that was 9 years later than me, bro.
When I got into comedy, you were already rocking and rolling.
Yeah,
You were 93, 92, you already were rocking and rolling already.
Yeah, I had already... 94 was my first HBO special. Before that, I had Que Locos and let me see, there was another Comedy Compadres. So Comedy Compadres was just in LA on Channel 5. I hosted 13 episodes of that. Then a couple years later, I hosted... that was Comedy Compadres. Then there was like Que Locos So then
Who
that was on television.
You, Pablo.
Oh God, it was
Willie.
Oh yeah, it was all the young guys. It was me, Pablo, Willie, all the guys that had 3 minutes. Like none of us. I had no fucking business hosting a show, bro. There's no way. I've been doing comedy for a year, 2, 3 maybe. I didn't have the kind of material. You know what I mean? So much of it was just the stupidest, cheesiest shit that I could, but there were 13 episodes, so you got to come up with 13 openings. So I remember that was the Comedy Compadres one, and I did it. But yeah, I've never seen those shows again. I would be ashamed to look at those shows right now. I think I could get high maybe and watch them and laugh, but sober, I don't think I can watch them, bro.
It's funny because every time I talk to Jimmy and I go to Denver, he goes, if you want to come over to the house, do you want to see the tape of you opening for Carlos? And I go, I don't ever want to fucking see that thing.
Right?
As long as I fucking live. Jimmy still has it, and he plays it once a week, and he watches it. I don't ever want to watch any of that stuff. When I see a movie that I'm in or something like that, I switch it so fucking fast.
I've never seen a whole movie that I've been in. Yeah. Well, I had to. You have to when you go to the premiere.
Sometimes I would just go, shake hands, and get the fuck out of there.
Oh, would you?
Yeah, I can't sit there. Especially when I took my friends. That was a big mistake in New York.
Why? What happened?
Because you're with 4 of your fucking friends that you grew up with.
Yeah.
And they yelling and screaming. Oh. And you're like, what the fuck?
Every time you come on camera, they're like, Joey!
Yeah. It's right. Just fucking, what the fuck? So now 94 I meet you, and you had already the show on HBO.
Yeah, at that time I had done
What was the name of that show?
Loco Slam.
Loco Slam.
And the first HBO special, and then the next one came out the next year.
And then who was on Loco Slam? Pablo again?
The same guys, bro. It was the same guys, except a little bit dirtier. You know what I mean? A little bit edgier. But that was the first time I put Juan Villarreal on TV. So that was like...
So you knew Juan that long ago?
Yeah, I knew Juan. Well, I met Juan right before I did that show. And I saw this kid. I was performing at a black club. It was... God, what was the name of the black club in Houston back in the day? Run by Rashawn Williams. Anyway, they were the first ones to book me. The regular club wouldn't book me. So they booked me. I went down there, and they had this kid opening for me named Juan. And that dude, just to this day, man, nobody makes me laugh like Juan does. Funniest, rawest talent I've ever seen in my fucking life. He's the guy that I say, watch him. This dude is what we can't be. He makes anything funny. I love watching him. So I told HBO, you got to put this guy on, and they fucking put him on right after Crazy Legs Fonseca, which was fucked up. You don't do that. You don't make somebody follow a guy with cerebral palsy. Could you imagine, dude? There's a guy that comes out and he's like, I want eating Cheetos, and the whole audience is going fucking apeshit. Right?
Ape shit.
They're going ape
and
shit.
At that time, Fonseca was on fire.
He was on fire.
He was a good writer.
Oh, fuck yeah. I woke up and my dick was orange, and we're like, oh, dude.
What was his opening joke back then? I'm from Colorado.
Wasn't it I woke up and my dick was orange?
No, I woke up. I'm from Colorado, and we like to parachute. Or something to that effect.
Oh, something that he was in a parachute accident.
He was in a parachute accident.
That's right.
And he's like, fuck parachutes and all this shit. And you'd be howling, you know.
He was killing it, though. Killing it.
Dog, I met Fonseca in 91, and he had a dude that used to drive his van.
Right.
And the guy was a biker comic that his name was Toe Jam.
I remember that name, but I don't know him.
Toe Jam was a biker dude. Man, I'm going down the highway in my motorcycle. And all of a sudden, he's an MC, and all of a sudden, boom, I see him in the van with Chris Fonseca. And I go, see, when you see that, I was a doorman at Wit's End.
Right.
And I'm like, how cool is that? And he's like, man, it ain't that cool. I got to wipe his ass. And right there, that just stopped for me. I was like, I got to wipe his ass. I'm not wiping nobody's ass. Fuck it.
Well, that's part of the gig, though. I mean, you had to do it. You want to drop him, you got to wipe him down when he takes his shit.
I just remembered that. I forgot all about that fucking story. Toe Jam. I got to do something about my memory. It disappears and it just shows up.
It just shows up sometimes.
I hadn't thought of Toe Jam in 20 fucking years, and it just came out.
I know, dude. It happens to me all the time. But I mean, dude, I've been doing it now for 29 years, going on 30, bro. Next year, in March, it'll be 30 years. So, dude, there's a lot of shit I forgot. A lot of shit back in the day. So many people that'll be like, hey, man, remember? And I'll see the face, and I'm like, you look older than I remember. Yeah, exactly. And then all of a sudden, it's like, oh, shit.
Yeah, it takes a while.
Oh, my God. Dallas. At the old Improv.
Yeah,
because there used to be an Improv. There's an Improv in Dallas, but there used to be one in Fort Worth. It's like the one in Fort Worth. Oh my God, I remember it. It's crazy. People that started doing comedy, that opened, that did guest spots, that just disappeared and went away. It's been a minute, bro. It's been a minute.
It really fucking has.
Is it scaring you or what, bro?
Listen, Carlos, when you're a guy like me, I didn't think I was even going to make it to 50. Not because I was hanging out with fucking the banditos and the mafia.
Right.
Just because of the lifestyle and what I had gone through mentally younger.
Sure.
So now I'm 54. Today at 10 o'clock. Do you know what I was doing, Carlos?
What, in the morning?
Yeah, what do you think I was doing today at 10 o'clock?
Were you reading to one of your kids?
No, I was at my kid's karate belt promotion.
Oh, nice.
At daycare. And the whole time, my wife afterwards, she goes, you had a weird look on your face the whole time. I go, let me explain something to you. I was never in this world. I don't know nothing about this shit. Matter My mom would drop me off at karate and come back an hour later. You know, like 2 hours later.
Your mom had karate.
Yeah,
Dude,
my mom had
poor. We
karate.
had no fucking karate. Come on now.
So it's just really weird that it's. My wife says you're quiet at the house. I got a little girl that prays at the table.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? What the fuck do you think I feel when she looks at me and she goes, Daddy, let's say prayers.
Right.
And I never fucking, who says prayers? Who says fucking prayers? I got a 4-year-old telling me to shut up. Says I got to say prayers. You know?
My 10-year-old does the same thing.
Yeah.
He says prayers every time we
day. So we come from
every time we go to bed, when we wake up.
You know, we come from a different environment. So for me, I'm freaking out every fucking day. Not to mention, I'm 54.
Is that scaring you too? The big 50?
Dog, as soon as you hit 50,
yeah,
it gets real.
Shit changes.
Because now you're in the real zone.
Right.
Now you're in the zone where Aaron Moran dies at 56.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? You're like, motherfuckers die at 50.
Like, yeah, friends of yours start dying of non-accidents, shit's getting real.
Shit's getting real.
You know what I mean? When all of a sudden you're like, oh yeah, man, remember him? He got cancer. What?
So shit got real.
Oh.
And then I had a baby.
Right.
Like, it just didn't get real at 50 where you're like, wow, I'm 50.
Right.
It's all downhill after this. This is when the warranty ends. Remember Chrysler?
Yeah.
Chrysler had 3 years, 36,000.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever you hit
this
first.
Was back in the day, bro.
Back in the day. Whatever you hit first,
Right.
3 years at 36,000.
Right.
50 is the day that they give you the paperwork, and they sign the paperwork, and they go, listen, it's over.
Every day from here on out is borrowed.
It's
like you've already paid for the car. The car's in it.
Yeah. That's
There's no warranty.
It's
list.
it.
It's really
Well,
hard.
what happens when you start hitting 50, bro, is it's like having an old car that you're gonna keep forever, and you realize that, okay, so they go, the water pump, man, it's no good. So then you fix the water pump and you put a new one in. Well, you don't realize that the hoses are used to the old pressure, not the new pressure. So all of a sudden you come in, boom, a week later they go, you got to fucking replace your hoses. Now all of a sudden you got to replace your head cam. No, that's where we are right now. We're getting to that place where, oh, my knee hurts. Well, you know what? You're getting arthritis pretty soon. You're going to have to get a new knee. But just hold on. We'll just keep it good. Oh, my elbow hurts. You got tennis elbow. That's not good. The tendon's right here. It's not good. You know, you little parts of you start breaking up. And then you just realize, like, I got to start taking care of this shit.
That's the other thing.
I can't be.
You get serious.
Right. I can't be going, oh, you guys want to play basketball? Fuck
You
that.
get serious. You're like, I ain't drinking diet soda no more. I ain't doing dick. Like, I ain't doing dick. I went to get the weed license yesterday because it expired last week.
Yeah.
And the guy took my blood pressure, and I was in shock.
Yeah.
It was tremendous at 3:30 in the afternoon. Usually by 3:30, my blood pressure's it's up there.
It was good.
Oh, yeah, it was like 140 over 80.
Oh, wow.
Which in my realm, I walk around at 180 over fucking 180.
Wow.
You know, it's like sometimes I walk into the doctor's, he's like, what the fuck have you been doing, Joey? I haven't been doing nothing. It's 8:30 in the morning. And then he'll go, give me 10 minutes, and then he'll come back, and it's normal.
Okay.
I'm one of those guys. But, you know, when I started doing this podcast, the main thing about this podcast was telling people about what really went down, like what went down with me, you know? And it's like, you got to remember, I was a guy who used to get up and go to the diner and put breakfast on the arm. Like, I would come to your restaurant and go, Carlos, I'm going to buy breakfast. I'll be here by 4 to pay for it. You go, okay, Joey. I wouldn't have a dime on me.
Right.
After that breakfast, that was my comfort for the day. Now you got to go work, bitch. So now you got to go walk around. Remember that time you went to buy drugs at that dude's house? He said he had a day job. Let's go over there and see who was at his house in the daytime. You know, that was your mentality.
Right.
And then I moved to, like, I got in prison, then I came out and I had a different mentality. Now I wasn't doing high-level shit. I was doing under-the-radar type crime. So even if I got in trouble, nobody got their feelings hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wouldn't really affect the status quo.
What does that mean? No one got their feelings hurt. like what kind of crimes are not big crimes?
It's crimes that nobody is affected by.
You walk into Kmart in 1994.
And you walk out with an apple.
You walk in there, you pick up a fucking $400 blanket, and you bring it up to customer service and go, my mother got me this for Christmas, but I have 3 of them. And they go, do you have a receipt? Not really. I got it for fucking Christmas.
Right.
And she would go, okay, it's $450. How do you want that? A check or cash? You know what? I'll take it in cash. Unless they're giving you $520 because there was tax. so they even give you the tax back.
Right.
You know, I was doing stupid shit like that.
those are the moves, dude.
So do you know what it's like to wake up in the morning and take your kid to daycare with your wife and giggle and talk to people like, hi, how are you? Knowing that I did time 20 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's tough for me to be in that world.
I never went to jail, but you know, for a while there when I was younger, I sold coke. And dude, just coming from where I come from and the school that my kid goes to and all the celebrities and stars and people that drop their kids off at the same time that I do, that shit's surreal, dude. That shit's crazy, bro. It just, dude, it's a whole different realm, brother. It's a whole different world. And I'm still not used to it. And I never will be. I just don't, I don't feel like I could ever be a part of that. And yet I am. And then part of me has to go, dude, chill out, relax. It's okay. You're okay. You're good. And then I kind of go, okay, all right. I am good. I'm good. This is cool. This is okay. These people are just people like me, and I'm just like them. And, you know, nobody's going to discover that I'm a fraud, that I belong here. And it's cool. It's tough, though, man. It's not easy.
You still work every week like a savage.
Every week, bro. Every weekend I can. Yeah. But, I mean, I'm going to, look, I kind of stayed away from the Comedy Store. I stayed away from Hollywood for a while. And now it's like I'm getting back into it. So I'll probably end up on a show, you know, within the next year or so. And then I won't tour as much, but I'll still work as hard. I just won't be gone as much.
Do you want to be back on the show?
I didn't want to until now. Now I feel like, yeah, I do. But I felt like time's kind of got away from me for a while. I just didn't have my pulse on where I needed it to be comedically, and that's why I just kept trying to find it. I just kept trying to work at it. And recently, in the past year or so, I think I found it. Like, I feel like, okay, America needs the kind of comedy that I do right now, the acerbic, the crazy, the political stuff, the ethnic stuff. I feel like that stuff right now is really important. And I don't know how many people are doing it on TV, but I know that it should be done. So I'm like, all right, I could do a show about this stuff and work around it. So that's kind of what I'm working on right now.
Now, did you get a degree in engineering, or you were studying?
A degree in electrical engineering.
Never used it?
Never used it. Never.
You would think about it, you ever go, you know what, fuck this shit.
No, believe it or not, dude, I use it to write, because comedy is what's wrong, right? Comedy is what's wrong. So we, as comedians, go, look at this. This is broken. This ain't right. This is the way it should be. And so, to me, when you take out all the emotion, those are mathematic equations. In my head, when I write, I don't initially create the joke that's the emotion of the joke. I create the president is the leader of America. He should be the smartest person in the world, and he's not. That's not right. So then I can then put stuff in backwards and go, this is why it's wrong, and this is the way it should be. And that, to me, is math. It's not comedy. The comedy part comes in, am I going to do an impression of him? Am I going to do an impression of somebody else? Is there a person in this joke? Is there not? Is it an excited joke? Am I angry? Then I put the emotion in it. Then is it like a, wow, that guy? Or is it like, what the fuck? What energy comes into that bit? Then it begins to become an entire piece. But the beginning, bro, the colors, that's math, bro. To me, that's all math. It's nothing but math.
You know, you've been here for about a half hour, and I'm looking at you. And like I said, I've known you for a long time,
yeah.
You know, and I could see the change in you, like how you've slowed down. I could see physically that you're a dad now.
Yeah, not only am I a dad, bro, but I mean...
It's weird when you see somebody, they go, I got 8 kids.
Right.
But they look younger than you.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now I could tell you have the dad stuff, and it's just, it was good to see you. It was good to hear from you. The whole thing, you know, I had Renazizi on the show one day. Here.
Oh, nice, man.
And when the show wrapped, at the end we were talking, he said that you had tried to call him or called him or reached out. Yeah. And I was like, you know, bro, that's the best thing, you know, whatever. He reached out, he said hello. whatever. And then a month later, you reached out to me. And it took me like a week to wrap my head around the whole situation, because when you called offering something that a lot of people never offer in their life. They never do. And I wouldn't do it either until I got locked up, Carlos.
Right.
It took me getting locked up to finally go to people and go, hey, bro, can I talk to you for a second? That time I choked you.
Right. I feel you, dude. I feel you.
I fucked up, though.
I feel you, dude.
I fucked up, and if there's anything I can do in the future to help you out,
right,
whatever. There's a dude I poked in the eye one time. Because he kept arguing with me, bro, at a fucking car dealership. He pissed me off so, and I was on probation.
Dude, I'm laughing because I know how you feel.
I was on federal probation,
right.
And this guy kept fucking with me about a restaurant. I kept going, bro, I'm not going over there, I'm going here, and he got in my face. And he was taller than me. He was tall, and I was on probation, and he crowded my space, and I fucking stuck my finger in his fucking eyeball. And guess what? He showed up at my comedy show at the Denver Comedy Works.
Oh, no way.
And before he could say to me, like, I'm sorry about that, I go, dog, first off, I had no right touching you.
Right.
Like, no matter what the fuck you said to me.
Right.
And then after the show, we talked again, and he goes, I couldn't even fathom my head about what you said. Like, the day you contacted me, Carlos, it blew me away.
Oh, no way, man.
It blew me away because even what's going on in the news, everybody blames everybody else.
Right.
And it drives me fucking crazy. And there's times that I see somebody doing it, and I go, you know what? And it wasn't until I took responsibilities,
Right.
And it was nice what you said, I'm going to have a child. And I'm going to start coming around, and I just don't want no ill feelings. And Carlos, I never had ill feelings for you. I swear to God.
Oh, that wasn't it.
Not at all.
It was about me, though, dude.
No, I know. You know
what I mean? Because listen, man. I'm a different. We all grow. We all evolve. I was a young kid who discovered comedy when I started doing stand-up. I didn't have any idols. I didn't know what stand-up was. I just remember I would go to work at Farmers Insurance, and I would tell these guys about stuff that I saw on the news that pissed me off, that I thought was absurd. I wasn't trying to be funny. They were the ones that said, you should do stand-up. I didn't know what stand-up was. I started doing stand-up at that time. And I come from the projects. It's funny when I hear people say, hey, man, you ever go back to the projects? And I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, back to your roots, back to where you grew up, back to those. And I say to them, look, I don't know about anybody else, but those people never supported me. When I told them I was going to do comedy, all I heard was like, if you're fucking funny or whatever. There was never until I started coming out on TV, then they were like, hey, bro, you're from here and all that shit. But before that, there was no support. It was like, you're stupid, you're dumb, you're not going to make it. What's wrong with you? Why are you standing? And I remember the first time I went to the Comedy Store, I walked off stage and somebody tapped another comedian, and he goes, he was a Latino comic, quote unquote, at the Comedy Store at that time. And he goes, dude, there's your replacement. And I was like, whoa, what the fuck? What is this? And I remember just going, you know what? I can't deal with all this stuff. I can't let this in my head. I can't give up being an engineer to do comedy and not make it work, because this is my family dependent on me. I mean, I was the first one to really come out and be able to get a good job as an engineer. Do you have any idea? Dude, my family had an intervention for me when I started doing stand-up. I mean, they literally sat around and told me that I was stupid and ruining my life. And so when I started going to the Comedy Store and there was all this back and forth and all these comics bickering, I said, you know what? I'm not going to get into this. I didn't drink. I didn't smoke. I didn't hang out. I went in there. I did what I did. I left. But I needed to feel like, I remember walking off stage and going, man, I killed. And the older comics who knew how to kill, they look at me like, what is up with this kid? But for me, that was the best I'd ever done. And I had to look at it that way. I couldn't sit around and go, well, yeah, I got to grow. I had to be that guy to deal with everything that came at me at the time. And what ends up happening is, after a while for me, after mine and Mencia, after all of it, going out on the road, I had to look back and go, all right, man. There are a lot of comics out there that don't like you. A lot of comics you don't even know don't like you. What is that all about? And I had to go, it's got to be something that I did, that I said, it's got to be me. It can't be all of these guys. And that's when I kind of started going, okay, how did I behave toward these people? How did I behave toward those people? And I had to say to myself, look, dude, you were a dick. You were cocky as fuck, arrogant to others, and you went into the Comedy Store. Granted, I grew up where other comics, when they made it, they would come and bump us and run the light. Paul Mooney always ran the light. And, you know, I felt like I earned it at that time, and I wanted to do the same. But I came at a time of transition, and I didn't pay attention to those around me. I didn't give a shit. You know, somebody would say, oh, you're going to bump me? I got shit to do or whatever. I mean, I think most of the time I would say okay, but other than that, I think a lot of those guys felt intimidated, and when they got a chance to shit on me, they did. And listen, bro, don't get me wrong. There were times where I had a gun in my hand and I was going to go to the Comedy Store and shoot some people. I mean, it were dark, bro. There were dark moments, like really dark. Suicidal, homicidal thoughts. It wasn't always pretty, bro. But I got to a place where I could say, you know what? I need to look at how I've treated people and talk to these guys and set it right, because I don't want to step foot at the Improv, the Comedy Store, whatever the comedy club is, and feel that look that I felt for 10 or so years of like, oh, fuck, there's that guy. And I just don't want that anymore. I don't know how everybody's going to react that I talk to, but I'm calling everybody that I feel I did something to or might have done something to just say, hey, man, I'm sorry that I treated you that way. You deserve more respect, regardless of me having a TV show, and at the time Steve Ren is not having a TV show. I didn't have to bump him and, you know, go on 30 minutes longer than I should have. I did, but I didn't have to. And now I look back at that and I go, okay, that's what you had to do. That's how you felt at the time. Good. Move on. Stay in your place. So that's where I'm at now.
It's so weird how I saw the whole thing unfold. And it's so weird how when you called, I mentioned Amy Schumer to you. And I said, you know, I'm sitting here. Amy Schumer released a special. Amy Schumer released something a year ago, and then she released something on TV. They attacked her. And then she released this last special. And I didn't, guys, I'm in my own world sometimes. I got the baby.
Sure.
I shot this thing for Animal Planet. You're on the road, you know.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, one day I go to the Comedy Store about a month ago, and I go into the back. They have a back area outside.
I haven't been.
They have a bar, and they have a back area outside. I had to wait. I don't want to sit in there because I get anxiety when I sit in the kitchen.
Okay.
You know, I look at the waitresses. I said, they're 20 years old. I'm fucking 50. What am I doing here? What am I doing with my life?
Sure.
So I go outside. I'm sitting out there, Carlos, and all of a sudden, these younger comics, which they knew me. I didn't know them. I can't lie to you. They're talking about Amy Schumer and how she got a 1 rating and how they're accusing her of this and they're accusing her of that. And I sat there and I didn't say 2 words because I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. So I speak when you don't know what the fuck. But I listened.
Right.
And I knew that all their accusations were upon words. Like, well, this guy said this and this guy said that. And I didn't say a word. I got on stage. I got in my car. But on the way home, I said to myself, one thing about life is that once you succeed in this game, they come out from all over.
Right.
They come from all over. Listen, I went to the store. This guy, Doug Stanhope, called and they told me you got to wait 6 months. I got here January 29th. I got a call February fucking 10th. Telling me you got a showcase for Mitzi's show. I thought it was 6 months from now. We had a fallout. I went there. I did 3 minutes. She told me, can you do 10 come back next week.
Come back next week and do time.
I like Cuban people.
Oh, that was she said?
Yeah, that's what she told me. Then the next week, she passed me, February 19th, on my birthday. And when I walked out, she goes, "You're a regular now. I have an idea. We'll dress you up like Fidel.
Oh, Jesus.
And you go up on stage with a cigar."
Jesus.
And I'm like, "Okay, Mitzi, blah, 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 blah." So now I moved down here with a bunch of dudes from Seattle.
Right.
I'm down here with Brody Stevens and Josh Wolf.
Oh,
and fucking
Brody, bro,
all
yeah.
these dudes. And they all come to the Comedy Store to see my debut at 11:30. And I'm ready to go up. I got my water bottle.
Right.
I'm excited to go up there and
Right.
bomb for 16 people.
Sure.
And I get a tap on the shoulder. There's my main man, Eddie Griffin.
Yeah.
He goes, "Player, let me hear. I'm going to try this new bit and shit.
Oh.
I'll be up there for 15 minutes and shit." Dog, it was fucking
An hour later?
in the morning,
Sure.
dog. You know, did I come back the next day and kick him in the stomach? Guess what? I understood the rules.
But the rules changed, though. The rules changed.
Well, the rules were bent and bent and bent and bent and bent until they just broke.
Right.
Until they just fucking broke.
Exactly.
The rules kept. Listen, I don't mind somebody coming in. When I got there, when I first got to the store, you weren't really there, but Gary Shandling was still coming in.
Right.
Andrew was still coming
Right.
in, and you know what? Andrew bumped.
Sure.
Animalistically,
Everybody listen,
bumped.
here's the weird thing, and again, like, this sounds like an excuse to a lot of the young comics. This is the way it used to be. I never, ever, ever got on stage at the Comedy Store that I can ever remember on time, anytime after 9:30. And Mitzi would always put me on late because she didn't want me on early, so she would give me a 10:30 spot. Dude, it was always 12. It was always 12. It was always somebody coming in. It was always, "Oh, Martin Lawrence is here? Oh, fuck.
Yeah, Martin
Oh,
Lawrence is
shit."
still
You know what I
coming
mean?
in.
It was always somebody. There was always somebody. And I never got mad because I didn't know the rules. And I was a young punk. So I was like, "Oh, is this how this shit is? Okay, fuck it." I worked at the store. So unlike most comics, I didn't give a shit. I'm working the door. So does it matter if I go on at 10 or 1 o'clock? No, I don't care. It never bothered me. But it did burn a little hole inside of me that I said, you know what? When I get the chance, I'm going to do this shit too. And by the time I came around in, 05, 06, when I really started hitting, these young comics were like, "Hey, whoa, you can't do that." I remember one comic who said, "If he goes on before me, I'm not going to perform." And I was like, "I don't give a shit. Then don't fucking perform." Because back in that time, I thought, dude, I never thought of not performing. I would never, ever think, dude, if there were 3 people at the store and the manager was like, "You got a spot, you want to go on?" Yeah, I want to go on. There's only 3 people. I don't care. If I make them laugh, I know the stuff is good. But it was just a different time, bro. And I just never adjusted. I never adjusted to the different time and the different people.
I still remember, dog. This is the funniest Carlos Mecia story ever. I'm at the store. I got a host at 8 o'clock, 7 to 10. I'm hosting. I used to usually host
On Mondays?
Sunday.
On Sunday.
It's a Sunday night. And I'm hosting the 7 to 10. Mitzi's coming in. They had me from 10 to close, but Mitzi was coming in. And she wanted me to host the showcases because I moved them right along.
Right.
So I get there, there's a bunch of cars in the main room. It's something about Christmas.
Right.
And you're in the main room. And it's Sanchez and Freddie Soto, God bless his soul.
Rest his soul, man.
Just a bunch of young Spanish guys. You know, I was hosting. Nobody asked me. I didn't say nothing. I didn't give a fuck. I go up there. It's 7 o'clock. Now I'm hosting and I'm walking back and forth.
Right.
So then towards 9 o'clock,
Yeah.
it's the 10-minute spots.
Yeah.
So I would have 10 minutes to walk to the bar.
Sure.
And I remember going to the bar one time and seeing all the young Spanish dudes huddled up.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Yeah, I'm going to go first, and then I'm going to go second.
Right.
Johnny Sanchez is going to go third."
Right.
And you had just started the show. And they all ran in. They're like, "He's only going to do 15 minutes." I'm going back and forth every 10 minutes. I'm going back and forth. Whoever was hosting at 10 didn't show up till like 10:30. I fucking get off the stage at 10:30. I go back there to see who's on stage. You're still
It's still me, bro.
on stage, dog.
Oh, my God.
Now I'm done for the night. I go get a package from the doorman.
Right.
I start drinking a few cocktails. I walk around. I go to the bathroom. I do coke. I mingle. I go back there about 11 o'clock. Carlos.
I'm still on.
You're still on stage. And those poor little Latino boys were sitting there like little
Right.
poster boys and shit for the wall.
Right.
They're just laying there cracked.
Right.
Cracked. Like they were cracked.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I could understand. But here was the thing. Mitzi was there that night. I remember.
yes.
And she told him, don't give him the light. She told the guys to not give me the light. So after about 45 minutes, and I looked and I realized they weren't giving me the light, I said, fuck it. I'm just going to keep going.
Oh, my God.
But here's the thing. And I realized this.
Those dudes had family
Poor
in the
guys.
audience.
Oh, poor
They were
Pete.
dressed
Poor
in their
guys.
best suits and
Oh,
shit.
bro.
They shined their shoes. They
Bro.
brought their grandmother from Mexico.
Dude.
And they're fucking like sitting there.
Dude, I can't even imagine the pain those poor guys went through. I can't even imagine. But here's the thing.
Could you make their family laugh?
Well, I was killing it, but here's the point. I at the time, I didn't drink, I didn't smoke, I didn't party, I didn't hang out. I did nothing, bro. All I had was the stage. The stage was my love. The stage was my mistress. The stage was my lover. That was it. And I was always writing, creating, because I had to do a new special. It was always about a new special. And it just never stopped in my head, bro. And I just was so... You know what it was? At a certain point, bro. At a certain point, I started hearing a lot of noise coming in. You know what I mean? And I remember there was a point where I went, fuck the noise. And I was like one of those horses, bro, with the blinders on them. All I could see, dude, is this. That was it. I couldn't see out there. I couldn't see sides, just forward. That's all I can see. And I wasn't bothered by going on long because I was like, you know how many times this has been done to me? I just, it was one of those, you know what it's like? It's like a dad who abuses his kid. And then you realize that he was abused as a kid. And to a certain point, you feel sorry for him. But at a certain point, go, dude, you got to stop being your kid. You got to grow up. You got to stop being that father. And that's the transition that I kind of had to make, which was, you know what? Just because it happened to you, it doesn't mean that it's okay to do it to these guys. It's a different time. It doesn't matter what you think. It doesn't matter. I could sit there and do jokes about millennials. You got your shit handed to you. You don't want to deal with the adversity. We had to deal with it. You deal with it too. I came in at a time when hazing was no good anymore. You know what I mean? I was one of the last fuckers to get hazed. And it was like, we were in that generation. So what do? I kind of fucking went the opposite. And I realize now, like that story you're telling, bro, to those comics there, if nothing else for that night, I owe Johnny an apology for that, man. You really might have been there with your mom. You really might have been there with somebody important. You really might have told somebody, hey, this is, fuck that. You might have had somebody from CAA there or from APA or, your first manager or agent because that was the main room and it's packed and I'm going to do some time. And I already had all of that. And I went up there and I was funny for way longer than I had to be. I could have been funny for 20 minutes and stepped off and didn't had the same effect. And I didn't. And those are the moments that I look back at and go, all right, I can't take that back. But I do owe those guys an apology. That was not fucking cool. And as funny as it can be.
I was laughing. It's 20 years ago. And listen, I got to be honest with you. I'm going to be as honest as I can with you.
Sure, man.
God forbid tomorrow
Yeah.
They put me on Hobo Suck Dick.
Oh my God.
And I'm the host of Sober Hobo Sucking Dick.
Sure.
And it becomes the biggest show on Netflix.
Sure.
And I start selling fucking theaters out.
By the way, I want to watch that show.
Right? Like, just get a bunch of
Hobo Sucking Dick is a great
It's a
show.
pitch I've had in my mind for a few weeks now.
Because it's the opposite of the chick in the van that goes bangs random guys.
I'm not even going to invite the networks onto this. I'm sitting on my own gold mine. Don't even think about it. I already got enlisted at the Writers Guild before the strike.
There you go.
I ain't fucking. That's the name of the show.
Just
Hobo Sucking Dick.
Hobo
You're
Sucking
driving a
Dick.
van, disco style, with a picture of Burt Reynolds in there.
Beautiful, baby.
And you pull them up and go, oh, listen, Hobo, how much is the sucking now? Anyway, I laugh. I could tell you, look you in the face as a man and tell you, Eddie Griffin bumped me 150 times.
He did the same to me, bro.
And I could look you both guys in the face and tell you, if I see Eddie Griffin today, I give him a big hug.
Yeah.
I didn't get mad about that at all. I understood it.
Right.
I understood it. And I understood it from day one. Me, in my mind, I can never walk into a place and bump. I'm really happy that they took that out of the store.
Yeah.
Just to smoothen things out with everybody.
Yeah, I agree.
They just said, I think the Improv, you could still walk in there and go, I'm going up and doing 3 hours, and they'll let you. You know how many fucking times Damon Wayans bumped me on New Talent Night at the Improv? I mean, Lee, we barely got an open mic at the Improv when I moved here.
Barely.
Wednesdays, 10 o'clock, three comics. I always got on the list, and fucking 9 weeks in a row, Damon Wayans bumped me on fucking principle. So you learn the bump. I still remember I was a regular at the store. I was a regular at the store since the day I came out of my mother's fucking pussy.
Right.
Okay?
Me too, by the way.
Okay, let's be honest. I was a regular at the store. And the way God wanted it was I was going to go to the comedy store. Because even when I was eating dicks as a young comic, like I was never a young comic, but people go to me, the Mitzi Shaw has
But you were a young comic. You weren't a young man, but you were a young comic.
People would go to me, has Mitzi Shaw seen you yet? And I would go, no, I'm not ready. So when I walked in there, I got in there, and I got in at a good time, and the whole fucking deal. You know what? I'm too high. I forgot what I was going to tell you. What was I talking about there? We're talking about something.
When you were a young comic.
About the comedy store, you were a young comic.
You were always born to be in the comedy store.
Like I was always born to be at the fucking comedy store. And I learned a lot about comedy at the comedy store, and I learned a lot about life.
Me too.
When I was in prison, I didn't think about comedy. But one day at the library, the fucking librarian gave me this book. He goes, read this. It's Lenny Bruce's book.
Right.
This is when he told me, you got to get on stage, you're funny, whatever. He gave me, and I read the book, and I believed in something, Carlos. After I read that book, I go, you know what? I may not be in the mafia, but I want to get into this comedy mafia.
Right.
I want to shoot heroin, and I want to hang out with strippers at night in New York City. I mean, this is what I want to do.
I feel you.
This is what I want to do. I'm okay with that. You know what? If we do heroin, we do heroin.
Right.
If we do meth, we do meth. But as long as I get to eat that chick's pussy, that's what I thought comedy was. But I also read those things, and there was a lot of a bond between those guys.
Yeah.
So when I got into comedy, I really believed in that bond. When I was in the open mic scene in Seattle, we had that bond. We'd do shows and split 70% of the door, and then all of us would go eat cheeseburgers.
Sure.
And then when you move to LA, you still think you have that bond. And boom, one day I'm a regular at the store. Now I'm part of the motherfucking Marines.
Right.
Now I'm part of the motherfucking Marines. But at the same time, you got to look behind the curtain at the store.
Right.
You got to look behind the curtain, and you got to look, and it's a fucking hard reality at the store. Even if you get 4 spots a week and you look behind the curtain, and you start to see how the business works, it's very hard to handle when you're not successful.
Right.
I can't imagine how fast it was coming at you. You got on stage in 88, and in 92, you already were on TV in L.A. Whether it was L.A.
91, bro.
Whether it was L.A. or Scandinavia.
91, dude. In 91, I won Star Search in Spanish. So I'd been doing comedy for like 2 years, bro, when I won Star Search in Spanish on Univision. So by the time 92 came around, and we did Comedy Compadres, dude, that was already, I had already done TV. I'd been on it, not, you know, and I had to do the shows in Spanish because it was for Spanish television. But so, dude, I got in quick, man, and I started, you know, doing stuff really quickly. So my TV queue, so to speak, here was big right away, man. It was big right away. I pretty much could do anything at the Comedy Store for a long time. For a long time. And then I just kind of realized, like, you know, I guess I just pushed enough people's away that there just came a time where I showed up and it didn't feel like home, bro. It felt, dude, I felt like I was going to, that fucking aunt's house who hates the fuck out of you and your family and is going to talk shit about your dad and how your mom was better than your father and all that kind of stuff. That's what it felt like. It just felt horrible, man. And I went for a few months feeling that way, thinking that it would change, and it just didn't. And then I said, about 7 years ago, I slowly stopped going, bro. And I haven't been in I don't know how long.
Hold that thought. Let me give some shout outs to Middle here, so there's no fucking misunderstandings. How about a shout out to my man Corey Hanna, Clan Stonewell, Robert Santoya, Corey Keene, Brian Fedorko, Carl Mann, Dom De Niro, Covergeist, and Umberto Grantu. How you like that, motherfucker? You know what I'm saying? Just
who are these people, bro?
Just people who follow the fucking podcast.
Oh, that's nice, man.
They say nice things. They're having a bad day, whatever. Don't forget, I'm at Wise Guys next weekend in Utah. And then 5/12, I'm in Milwaukee at some fucking theater. I don't know where it is. And then Detroit sold out. I don't know. The Magic Cat, the Magic Bag.
The Magic Castle.
No, it's not the Magic fucking Castle.
The Comedy Castle?
I got a magician who's trying to kill me.
Isn't it the Comedy Castle? Is that it?
No. It's the Magic Bag or the Magic Hat.
Oh, okay.
It's just a small theater.
Dude, you're going to love Utah, bro. They moved.
Yeah.
Have you been in the new one?
Oh, no, not yet.
Oh, so the new one is, dude, I don't know what street it's on, but if you end up taking your GPS, you're going to go through there's one street where all the homeless people live. And then 2 blocks down is this. It's pretty nice inside it, and the comedy club is inside like a mall. It's really good, but it's really nice now. It's really, really nice. It's not the same old place where it used to be.
Maybe I should take my special hobo suck dick while I'm there.
Oh,
in Utah,
dude,
you know what I'm saying?
That shit'll work
in
there,
the Mormon
bro.
state.
That shit'll work there.
You know, Carlos, it's weird. Well, when I got to the Comedy Store, like I was saying, I felt like I was a Marine of comedy.
Right.
Even though I sucked, even though I got 1155 spots.
Dude, I got 12 spots for years.
And I had to follow Mooney and the whole fucking deal. It's still, I belonged to something.
Yeah.
I belonged to something that was cool, you know?
That's how I felt.
And I don't remember the date, Carlos, but you went up there. You would go up there, and everybody's feathers would ruffle.
Right.
You know, I mean, it was, and you knew it. You felt it.
Yeah.
And then by that point, I could tell in your face that you were like, listen, you're going to hate me anyway.
Yeah. It was.
I could tell in you, bro, I've been there. I've been there. So I understood that. And I also, I started at the store in 98. And it was, I would live and die for the store.
Me too.
Okay. And then by 2005 was when I felt a shift changing. I felt something weird at the store. I remember getting surgery. You know, I'm Spanish, bro. And I'm from a Catholic country, and I'm superstitious and voodoo.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget, like, 2005.
Are you a Santero, bro?
Yeah. 50 years. But I remember 2005, I got a ball taken out of my neck. Remember I had a fat ball? Do you remember? I let you touch it. I let somebody touch it. Lee, it would just swell up. Well, I took the fat ball out. They had to break my shoulder to take the ball out. And I'll never forget that. I looked, the doctor said, do you want to look at the fucking ball? And the first thing happened when I looked at it, Carlos, first thing I thought of was the Comedy Store.
No shit.
And I remember going home with that feeling and going, it's time for me to take a breather. And I go, this is my logic. If I started in Michigan at the Magic Castle,
right,
at the castle in Dearborn, whatever the fuck it is, you're an MC for 2-3 years.
Sure.
you become a feature for 2-3 years,
Right.
and for a year you're kicking ass. So they let you headline on New Year's, New Year's Day, Thanksgiving Day.
Sure.
After a year, if the club manager's a good guy, he's gonna come up to you and go, "Listen, Carlos, I love you to death.
You gotta get out of here.
You could stay here. You gotta get out of here."
Right.
But if you look at the watch, and you really, really want to be prepared and come out here and not suffer, it should be like at the 6 or 7 year mark.
Yeah. And that's what I tell young comics.
That's where I was at the Comedy Store.
Because you came when you were funny.
I was just starting to feel my way. I was doing comedy 6 years.
No, but you were funny.
I wasn't ready at all. There was people who were headlining. The first 2 years of comedy,
I didn't think so. I thought you were ready when you first showed up at the Comedy Store. I thought you were raw.
Remember when you have 30 minutes and then you move and you have 18? Once I left Seattle, I went from having 30 minutes to fucking 18.
Yeah.
But it was so weird that after I saw that ball, I said, I got to watch the store.
Yeah.
That's it.
I felt it was cancerous?
It was. No, it wasn't cancerous. It was.
Not that.
No.
The Comedy Store.
No, not at all. I just felt in a way that was it. I overstayed my welcome.
Okay.
That's how I felt.
Okay.
And I'll never forget that one night. We're just going to say different words here.
Okay.
At the time, the club manager came out to me one night. A friend of mine was on tour with some other people, and he came outside to me and he goes, "Listen, I just want to give you a message that when I saw the whole hand unfold, Carlos.
Right.
They came to me and they go, when your friend comes back, tell him there's no more 40-minute spots on Friday." And I looked at them and I go, why don't you guys tell him when he comes back? What are you fucking telling me for?
Right.
And I told my friend. He giggled it off. And then about a month and a half, maybe 2 months later, I get a call from the same manager at the Comedy Store. And he goes, "I just want to throw something at you." He goes, "The other night such and such was on stage and Carlos came in and bumped him. I don't think it's right. What do you think?" And I go, "Is such and such on a TV show?" He goes, "No." I go, "Even Mitzi's rule is he's not on a TV show. Carlos is a TV show. Carlos bumps him."
Right.
And he goes, "Well, I disagree with you." What they were trying to do was get a message sent from me.
Sure.
And I rejected them at the gate.
Right.
I rejected them. This is a true story, Carlos. But I knew shit was brewing.
Right.
In all different directions.
Yeah, it was.
Just not at once. And all of a sudden, Carlos, and I was telling this to Willie Barcena.
Yeah, I was talking to him there.
One day, I'm sitting there watching the Super Bowl, minding my own business. And the Super Bowl just starts. 2-3 minutes in, who's coming on TV but Carlos Mecia? And I sit there, Carlos, and I swear to God, for 10 seconds, I was happy for you.
Yeah.
And for 50 seconds, I felt bad for you.
Right.
I said, this is the beginning of the end. They're all coming out.
Sure.
That's it. They're throwing darts at them right now.
Well, the difference was is that normally that happens, right? That happens. But normally those people have friends. They have, people that like them. They have, a good... Dude, I became beyond toxic. I mean, there was a point in time in comedy where if you said, "I like Carlos," at a comedy club, 10 comedians would come around and fucking tell you that you ain't shit. No, fuck you. You don't know that guy. It was beyond anything any comic has ever dealt with from that perspective. But again, I got to look back and go, those people didn't like me because I did something to them. I bumped them. I went on long before them. I did both. Whatever the fuck it was, those guys were mad. They felt anger. And you can't tell somebody in life, you can't be hurt. It's like when my son's 10 and he does or says something. I can't tell him your feelings aren't real. I can't tell him, because I don't want to do what my dad did and say, you don't have a good enough reason to cry. My son's crying, he's crying. That means he's hurt. So what are you hurt about? I don't demean why he is hurting. So I just kind of had to say to myself, dude, it's you created this, for all the reasons that I know. I didn't hang out, I didn't drink, I didn't party, I didn't commute, I didn't have a lot of friends in that respect. I did my time, I got the fuck out. But I could sit there and go, yeah, you know what I got was undeserved. It was a hate on a level that was just fucking, it was like a machine. It wasn't just random people not liking me. It was random people not liking me and then coming together and then just a machine going after me. And, you would go on a podcast of anybody's podcast at the time, and it was like, dude, you didn't open for that guy, and if you did, you better tell stories about him being a dick. And it for a while, it was like, whoa, fuck, I don't deserve this shit. I've helped Freddie Soto. I brought him on the road for 3 years when he wasn't a comedian and he was trying to be funny. I helped him. I put him on a TV show called The Three Amigos. I put him on a tour called The Three Amigos. I helped, Pablo Francisco. And when he was doing all the crazy stuff, I was the one saying, hey, come hang out with me, dude. You don't have to do that crazy shit. And on and on and on.
Listen, bro, a lot of comics have sit in that chair.
Yeah.
3 or 4 of them, and said that you were always very generous and very good to them. From Bobby Lee to Steve Renazizi. That's one thing that they've always said. And they had whatever happened. You know what, man?
But that's my point. And I had to deal with all that stuff. And I had to go to therapy, bro. And you know what I mean? Deal with my issues, deal with their issues, and accept. And I'm at the place today where I can honestly say, barring a few people that, I really treated shitty. I don't believe that I deserved all that craziness that came my way. But that being said, I forgive them, man. I forgive them because they were hurt and they got even, and that was a way of getting even. And that's what happens, bro. That's life. When we get poked at, we want to poke back, and they poked back, and they poked as hard as they can, and they poked where it could hurt the most in my comedy career and the integrity of what I do. And it had its effect. And now I think it's time, for me to kind of just let everybody know, like I said, for those who I need to apologize to, I'm going to apologize. And for those who I need to forgive, they've already forgiven. I'm moved on.
It's a two-way fucking street.
Right.
It's funny, Carlos, because I apologized to the guy I kidnapped.
Right.
On this podcast. I haunted him for 3 years on social media, not embarrassing way, but I hunted him down because I really wanted him to know that it was a bad day.
Sure.
If I would have kept kidnapping people, which I kidnapped like 2 people after that, but nobody found out.
At least you didn't burn them with a crack pipe, bro.
I did 2 or 3 drug rips after that, but my point being that people are going to open up this podcast tomorrow and they're going to go, Joey, what the fuck? You had Carlos on. And I got to be honest with you. I know you for 24 years. And a lot of people forgive me in my life. I was not really mad at you at all for no reason. It was just a part of life. It was just a part of comedy at that point.
Sure.
But now that you made the call, I had to give you the respect, and I wanted people to know how I felt. That I'm really happy that you made the call. I'm really happy that you're going to reach out to other people and make calls and continue. You have no beef with me. I love you to death.
I never did.
No,
I just know that you were one of those guys that I bumped more than one time.
No,
I did, bro. You might not remember, bro.
Yeah,
and you might not give a shit about it, but I remember that. I did. I remember one time when you were talking to Dice backstage, and you guys were going back and forth, and I believe Eleanor might have been there talking to you guys, and you guys were all talking together, and you had a spot, and I went on for like an hour. And when I walked off stage, you said something in Spanish on the way up, jokingly, but I'll never forget it because it was funny and you didn't give a shit. But at the same time, today I look at it and go, fuck, man, that guy went on an hour late and then you said something like, oh, you finally got off come mierda. All right, let me go show these. Yeah, I think you said like, oh, you got off come mierda. Well, fuck, let me show these guys what fucking Cuban could do. And then you went on stage and you did your thing and you didn't give a shit. But I look back at moments like that and I go, you know, I wasn't working on a special, bro. I was, you know what I'm saying?
Carlos,
I wasn't working on shit. I was just going on along, man.
When I left North Bergen, I had like 3 friends, bro, that when I would disappear for a month or 6 months, when I come back, they go, Jesus Christ, Joey, go. Bro, what did you do? What did you do? People come looking for you at the bar every night. I got people calling the funeral parlor. You know, I had friends that would tell me this shit. And Carlos, for a while, that's how it was. Like, every 4 conversations was something to do with Carlos.
I know.
And I would go, listen, guys, either fucking do something or shut the fuck up already.
Right.
Shut the fuck up. But, bro,
it was cool to hate me, though. It was the thing to not like me, bro.
Carlos,
you remember those days.
it was, and it was everywhere. It was everywhere.
Dude, comedians that had been doing comedy for a year would be like, let me tell you that motherfucker. I was like, who the fuck are you? It was bad. And here was the worst part, bro. Here's the worst part about it all. Dude, whenever anybody had a problem with me that I knew about, I would always confront them. Even back in those days. I would walk up to Eddie and go, hey, Eddie, I heard you said this. Nah, man. Hey, Mooney, I heard that this was said. No. Oh, brother, I never said that. Oh, never said that. You know, I was the one that was always going, you know, hey, bro, what's going on? I almost got in a fight sometimes because of that. One of them was with Lopez because he was across. I was eating at the Gaucho Grill, which used to be that Argentinian restaurant right across the street from the Laugh Factory back in the day.
Tremendous.
So I used to go there, and then I saw on the marquee, you know, Lopez. So I went across the street and I'm like, hey, George, you know, we don't have to be enemies, bro. I dig your comedy. I respect you. And he got upset and, you know, nothing happened. But, you know, even that moment was me trying to address an issue. You know, it was always me trying to address an issue.
How's your relationship with him today?
You know what? Like, we're good, man. I haven't talked to him in a while, but, you know, with him, the truth is that he'd been doing comedy much longer than me, and I never showed him the respect as a comic. You know what I mean? I was the backup quarterback, pretending, you know, acting like I could take over this team, basically, with the whole Latino thing. And you know, I just have given him the credit that he deserves for all the stuff, and not ever since, but even way before. I'm not talking about even when he did the George Lopez show. Before that, him and Paul, I mean, you know, dude, they were the godfathers of Latino comedy. You know, Paul put me on his TV show in Spanish when he had El Show de Paul Rodriguez on Univision. I mean, he was part of me ending up at HBO. He was an executive producer on Local Slam. So he was, you know, he was a guy that helped me out. And George was a guy that paved the way for a lot of us. And, you know, when at the time, blinders, moving forward, I got talent. I got to do my stuff. I didn't really have the patience and time to properly thank those guys the way they needed to be thanked. And even though I did thank them, it wasn't the same. The attitude wasn't the same. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference between
reaching out to them today?
I love you and I love you.
Do you think I'm reaching out to them today?
Oh yeah, of course, man. Paul, I talked to. Yeah, of course. George, yeah, I put word out to him. Yeah, I mean, look, dude. Here's the beauty of me. You could go online right now and Google my name, and you can find article upon article, people upon people that say bad things about me. The one thing that I pride myself on, bro, to this day, as God is my witness, I don't say bad things about other comics. That was the one thing that I said to myself, you know what? I have not been a pure comic. I have not been a good Christian. I've not been a good Catholic. I've not been all that kind of stuff. But this is one thing I will not do. I will not engage with all these people and say bad things about them, because I know there's going to be a tomorrow. I know it. And I know that there's going to be a day when I want to look them in the eye and say, I never said anything bad about you. So I didn't, and I haven't. So I got no problems with nobody today, bro. Anybody comes up to me, they want to, you know, talk and be friends or whatever, I'm down, man. I always have been. So today, that's where I'm at, and I'm proud and lucky that, you know, through the moments when I, like I said, I had a 9mm in my hand and I thought maybe I'd just shoot myself or go to the comedy store and shoot some comics. At those minutes, those seconds that happened in my head, I'm glad that I didn't go online and say, I wasn't on the radio the thousands of times that I've been baited and say, hey, what do you think about this comic? I don't go there, brother, because I did this on my own, and I'm glad that I got out of it, and I'm in a good place, and I have integrity, and that means something to me.
I put you on the show because I liked what you're doing, and I respect what you're doing as a man, you know, and I hope that you keep going. I hope that you reach out to everybody at least
I will, man.
one time and say, hey, man.
Of course, brother.
If I ever did something, I want to do business here. The same way you did it to me. It meant the world, because a lot of people walk around confused and they don't know, especially a Spanish dude, to come to terms and call you up and say thank you. And it meant the world to me, Carlos. Right. So anytime you want to come on, bro, you're more than welcome. Anytime, brother. I'm happy you came on, you know, and I wanted just to put you on to let people know, bro, that we're all about second chances, man. This is all about fucking second chances, Carlos. Life is too fucking long. We're talking about being 50. How you look at, you're 49 now. 49, right? Bro. You're going to be 50 in that morning. October. You're going to wake up and go, here we go. Yeah. This is it. So, bro, I know exactly how you feel. So, thank you. Thank You're welcome, for fucking apologizing. Thank you for taking care of yourself. And thank you. Are you still in therapy? Oh, yeah, still. Once a week. Good for you. You still I'm up once every other week now, but still, yeah. Fine-tuning all the time. You know, and... you got to look within, bro. The answers are always within. The answers are rarely outside, bro. The answers are almost always, if not always, inside of you. The cures, the diseases, it's all inside of you. You know, like, I could have been a different comic when I was younger, befriended people, and all that would have been different. Like you're talking about Amy Schumer. Amy Schumer gets accused, and a lot of people still defend her because she has friends, because she has connections, because she has people that go, yo, man, that's not the kind of person that she is. You know what I mean? I like that because that's what I cultivated, you know? I cultivated, it's what you said. I'm on stage going, you're going to fucking hate me anyway. Oh, well, I'm going to do what I'm going to do then. You know? No, but there was a time when I saw you, know what I mean? And I knew exactly where you were coming from. Right. Because I've been there. When I lived in Jersey, they hated me anyway. I might as well keep robbing you. Thank you again for coming on, brother. I love you, Carl. Appreciate it, brother. Let's get the fuck out of here. At least I am. Don't forget, I'm going to be at Wise Guys Comedy in Salt Lake City the 5th and 6th next Friday and Saturday. Then the week after, I'm going to be in Milwaukee at a theater. Go to joeydiaz.net and click on to Milwaukee, and they'll tell you all the details, the ticket prices and all that. It's cheap. It's going to be a great show. It's myself and Matt Fultron. Listen, let me ask you people something. You guys like comedy, obviously. You listen to me, you listen to Bill Burr, like a lot of people, and you go from place to place watching comedy. Well, that doesn't have to happen anymore because all the great comedy is on CISO. CISO's a one-stop shopping. They have my special on there. Not only that, you get unlimited access to CISO original series, next day late night hilarious stand-up specials, and binge-worthy classics, including 42 seasons of Saturday Night Live and the entire Monty Python catalog, The It Crowd, and more. With CISO, you get binge-worthy classics, British cult comedy original series with like Harmon Quest and bajillion dollar properties, not to mention the entire SNL library, including new episodes the day after they air. Plus, CISO brings stand-up right to your living room with exclusive content from today's best comedians, on demand and commercial-free. Sign up now and catch brand new stand-up specials from Nick DiPaolo, Big J. Okerson, and Uncle Joey Coco Diaz, all right? or watch your favorite sets from comedians like Louis C.K., Amy Schumer, and Hannibal Buress. Access CISO content from anywhere, anytime, using iOS, Android, Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, Windows, or Xbox One. Ready for the punchline? CISO is $3.99 per month. That's no joke. $3.99 per month for all the comedy you want, anytime, anywhere, ad-free. Just go to CISO.com right now and sign up for 1 month free with promo code Joey at checkout. That's CISO.com, spelled SEESO.com. Promo code Joey. I'm giving you 1 month. CISO.com, promo code Joey. No ads, no joke. CISO is the comedy you crave, all right? Number 2, listen, you're going to smoke dope. You're going to jump up and down. You're going to look for potato chips. You're going to eat butter and bread. Trust me, I've been there. That's over. You know why? Because from now on, when you want a snack and all you can find is junk food, you can rely on self-control to resist the temptation. Please, you eat that junk food. But now you're going to start snacking healthy with Nature Box. Nature Box makes snacks that actually taste great and are better for you. Created with high-quality ingredients that are free-form artificial colors, flavors, or sweeteners, so you can feel great about snacking. My personal favorite are the chocolate nom-noms and the salt and pepper lentil loops. I love those lentil loops. You understand me? Nature Box recently made their service even better than what they were before. Now you can order as much as you want, as often as you want, with no minimum purchase required, and you can cancel at any time. Who's better than you? It's simple. Go to naturebox.com and check out their snack catalog. There are over 100 snacks to choose from, and they're constantly adding delicious new snacks. Choose the snacks you want, and they'll deliver them right to your door. Right to your door. With Nature Box, you'll never get bored. There are new snacks each month, inspired by real customer feedback. And if you ever try a snack you don't like, listen, Nature Box will replace it for free. Gratis, that's it. They want you to be happy. That's what customer service is about. Do me a favor. You'll save even more right now. Nature Box, they're going to offer all you beautiful people 50% off your first order when you go to naturebox.com/Joey. Again, that's naturebox.com/Joey for 50% off your first order of the healthiest, best tasting snacks you ever had. Again, naturebox.com/Joey. I want to thank my man Lee Syatt. I want to thank Nature Box. I want to thank CISO. I want to thank On It. I want to thank you people for understanding where I'm coming from on this podcast. It may not be what you wanted to hear tonight, but I got to tell you something. You got to forgive at some point. Fuck it. Stay black. Have a great weekend. See you Monday night. Don't forget Wise Guys Salt Lake City next week. And then Detroit's all sold out on the 13th, but on the 12th, we got Milwaukee. Go to joeydiaz.net for the tour information. I'm coming to your town. Stay black.